I know a lot of people kind of say you got to sit down and practice your scales, like maybe with a metronome and all that. And well, that's valuable. I usually take a few different approaches. So one, I think it's good to do them all, by the way. But one is the more free flowing approach where you know, don't just stick to one position. Just kind of. If you want to stick relatively, to the next note. The scale, if you want to do that, you can do that. No metronome. Just kind of get used to shifting position. You can incorporate all those kind of exercises that you sometimes might do, like scales in groups of 4. Pardon me. Or you can start to use different intervals. So maybe you go up here and stuff like that. Because to me, it does become very unmusical in a way if we just sit and practice. And so on. Sure, it can be useful. You can do that in a song, like so on, but perhaps even just the slight little variance in what you're playing can change things about a lot. And just sort of get your brain used to that. You can do that with a metronome too, of course. And what I like to do the most, honestly, is find some backing tracks in key that I'm not too familiar with, or the one I'm struggling with, for instance. And let's do a backing track in G sharp minor. Let's see if I can find something acoustic. It's going to be G minor. It's just showing up here. I can call it B major. Do that instead. See it? I don't know. Just kind of float about it. I'm not too familiar with this. using some of the same concepts I did just before. You start incorporating different sort of rhythmic patterns. Maybe use that 4-note sequence we talked about. Okay if you mess up. I do too. String skipping. Don't know this backing track. I noticed I played an F instead of an E there a second ago. See, I'd much rather sit and do that than sit and go. And sure, that works too, but I have a lot more fun with the other one. Of course, you might have to remind yourself what is the B major scale playing now. Okay, so it's a B, it's a C sharp, it's a D sharp, it's an E, it's an F sharp, it's a G sharp, and it's an A sharp. Might have to remind yourself of that, and then kind of explore around the fretboard, remembering those notes. Still going on, I just dropped my pick. But that's sort of how I practice it, or practice scales. You can sort of slow it down if you wanted to. Practicing the scale, that's that is, and you can gives you a bit more thinking time where you're going to jump. Oh, there's another exercise I kind of like to do, and I don't think I can do that straight up in B major right now, but try it. But it's more of a string skipping exercise. Gotta play around with that pattern. I have to thank you. I'm definitely struggling too, as you can see. Do it in C major just for a second. stuff like that to, you know, get your brain working all over the fretboard instead of just in one position. Because the truth is, to me at least, maybe not the truth, but it sounds more dynamic if you're able to play all over the fretboard, sort of horizontal as well. Rather than just... And sure, sometimes you can use a scale run, you know. But otherwise, I'd practice more fluently, in a way. Because to me, a scale is not just the row of notes. It's all those notes that we find in a given key, whether that's B major, and we talked about that a second ago, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B again. It's not just that. It's knowing all those notes all over the fretboard and where they are. Being able to pick them out relatively with relative ease. And that's sort of where I want to go. So that's sort of how I would practice these things. If I was to go more strict about it, I would be thinking I would be playing the more boxed shapes. Or 3 note per string. Let's do that again. Or even try and work on it horizontally. So stuff like that on all the strings. And that sort of gives me more of a feel of where the notes are in a given scale. You could do that with metronome, of course. But I like doing it with a backing track. So, you know, if I was to put this on and be like, okay, just turn it up a bit. And just play it horizontally. That would be my approach to it. And combining the things, I would also think about if you're like, oh, where's that note on the other strings? Start to figure that out. And I think that's equally as important when we're trying to figure out a way of getting to know the fretboard. Okay. Those 3 notes, can I play those differently? Cool. What about if I did this? Okay, so that note, it's that note. Okay, cool. And that note, it's that note. So it repeats all over the fretboard. And you can kind of start to see how that is the same as this. And this. And this. And this. And yeah, so that's something I find important too. And maybe it's easier for some people to start with the pentatonic and just what you know there and figure out, okay, you know, that note, that same as that. And of course, I'm showcasing it quickly here, but I think a lot of people get very. I know that box shapes can be and shapes can be very important to a lot of players, and that's why you see a lot of teachers and people practice and suggest practicing all that. Can't play while I'm talking, apparently, but those kind of box shapes, a lot of people like that, but I do see a lot of people get stuck in that kind of playing. It's fine. It sounds fine. It's within the key, but if you can start to it will start to set you free. That's my 15 minutes of rambling on scales and learning scales and practicing scales.